think his name's Roger Boaty. Hey darlings!
Mr. George Roger Boaty. Mr. Roger Boaty. George Roger Boaty. Mr. Roger Boaty. George Roger Boaty.
Name's Roger Boaty. Mr. George Roger Boaty.
His name is Roger Boaty. Did you know that? Good evening, my lovelies. It's Monday Night Live, and how are you? How was your weekend? How has your Monday been? What was the best meal you've had since the last time that we spoke? And what are you up to right now, apart from watching this idiot, of course? Has anybody got a drinky on the go? What are you drinking? Anybody got any nibbles? Let's hear all about it. And tell me what you've been up to. Tell me any gossip that's going on. Tell me any car news. Throw anything at me. Throw anything at me. A mammary-operated trebuchet. We'll make something of it, won't we? The normal nonsense between us all. Cheers, your very good health. Here we go with another week. My goodness. Oh, I tell you what, nothing wrong with that. Let's say some quick hellos and see who we've got with us right from the off. Jimmy, hello. Steve, Liz, the other Liz. Simon's still awake. You're doing well, mate. Simone is here. Chaz Brown. _ Matt's with us. Rover Joe. Right, we appear to be back. Apologies in advance for any internety interruptions. I've got no idea how long I was talking to you and you weren't there, because I was looking down. I wasn't looking over there at you. So, never mind. I think I've said good evening to most of the people who are... Oh, Sarah Parsons is here. How absolutely fabulous. Diddly-do. Right, let's whiz through, see what you've got to say for yourselves. And we're also splendid, yes. Why not? Somebody has picked up that the name is Roger Boaty. Well done, you. Bad Books is here. I didn't spot you there, Bad Books. And this is what I was going to talk about. Rover Joe says, very well. I think he's replying to how are you doing kind of commenty thing. I've just finished my live. I didn't know you were doing a live, Rover Joe. I would have watched. Jimmy Quinn is drinking lime and tonic, which sounds a little too alcohol-free for my taste, but there we are. Simone says it was fricking cold today. I planted some daffodils in the garden. Good on you. And good luck for them coming up in time for St. David's Day, which is just round the corner. Mine are looking kind of nowhere near, really. There are plenty of green shoots, but, they look about... Well, I mean, I don't know. What do I know? How do I know what I'm talking about? I've got no idea what goes on in my garden. That's why I pay gardeners. Although, I have listened to Gardener's Question Time on a Sunday for about 25 years. So I have some theoretical knowledge, but I couldn't tell the difference between a daffodil and a tulip. Although I believe I have both. I'm looking forward to spring bursting out all over in the old garden, and I'm looking forward to when we can do this kind of thing outside. Yes, al dente. We'll have some al dente lunches and some al dente lives. In case you didn't know, al dente is your actual French for in the open air. There you go. I am fully bifocal, I'll have you know. Simon informs us, very interestingly, for reasons, in inverted commas, I'm watching the stream in a mirror. It's confusing. Yeah, well, it would be, Simon, and of course we all wonder what those reasons are. Now, we've got some car news from Rover Joe. I got quoted for welding on my Honda Civic. So, Jesus Christ, really? Really, Joe? Same as the Rover 445. Oh, yeah, that brand of Honda Civic. It's going to cost me £3,000. Christ above. What the hell sort of welding does it need that's going to cost £3,000? I mean, you could weld a Rolls Royce onto it for that. Well, I don't know what to say to that, Joe. I mean, you know what you're doing. What was it? Was it a welder who was tripping out on something? Bloody hell. I mean, oh dear me, £3,000. General Cheeseburger is here. Of course he is. Oh, Mr. Ben 747 has just finished Several. And Several is kind of covers a multitude of sins when it comes to G&Ts, doesn't it? I mean, Several could be 2, or it could be however many is taken to empty the bottle. And dangerously close to ordering burger and chips. Dangerously close to ordering burger and chips. Now, to me, burger and chips isn't something that you would have delivered. In my experience, chips don't travel well, and I can't imagine a burger would travel well either. I mean, how would you keep it warm? It's different with a curry or some Chinese food or something you can put in a proper insulated plastic type compartment. But how do you keep a burger warm? And who orders this food anyway? Those apps, those Uber Eats thingies and the McDonald's delivery, they all charge about £4 or £5 for delivery, don't they? Who the bloody hell can afford that? I'm damned if I could. Make yourself a burger and chips, Mr. Ben 747. Just, God knows it's easy enough. Grab a burger and some frozen chips, chuck them in oven, swizz them about a bit every now and then so that the chips soak up all of the nice burger juice. Toast a bun, don't even fry onions, just chop some onions up, bung them in the pan with the burger juice, they'll be okay. And then just get a good ketchup and mix it with some really, really good chili sauce to make your own chili ketchup. A really nice a sriracha or a really, really good chili sauce. Mix it with the old ketchup for your dip. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt, and you've saved yourself, well, God knows how much, probably a tenner, something like that. Have you heard, asks Chaz Brown, they want to introduce a tyre tax. Hope it's an early April Fool, but wouldn't be surprised if true. Pollution tax. No, I haven't heard anything about that. Has the internet gone out, or is it me? The internet did go out and may do again. As I keep saying, it's one of the joys of living in what is technically known as the arse end of nowhere. I'm saying that trying to keep a burp from emerging. It got from the basement to about the second floor, and then I managed to keep it there. It's all about self-control, my lovelies. How's Boaty? Well, Boaty's okay. It's been a perfectly pleasant Monday. I had the best sort of lunch, i.e. the type that you don't have to pay for, which I ate with my dear friend Captain Mustard in Mr. George Roger Boaty. And that was grand. Yeah, I broke the internet, Simone, it's all my fault. Yeah, we all appear to be noticing that the internet did indeed bugger off. The white swirly thing of doom. Oh, hello. A hidden... Oh, God. Okay, here we go. The jokes are starting. I apologise in advance for any jokes that you may be subjected to. And jokes should be in inverted commas. And I would like to make it absolutely clear that the Boaty's World channel is not in any way responsible for any of the jokes that you are assaulted with this evening. I have a subject, says Simon. Cock rings. Are they worth it? Or are there better places for chickens to fight? Calling all cars, proceed to the Boaty residence. Peak District in the sticks, absolutely. Somebody else who didn't know that Joe was live streaming today, Gareth Williams is with us. How absolutely fabulous. Evening, Gareth. Are you well, sir? Ivor Spotty Botty is here. How fabulous. And Ivor Spotty Botty, as we know, is living in a different time zone. He comes from a land down under where women blow and men chunder. Can't you hear? Can't you hear the thunder? And so on. And he is watching while he's at work, or more specifically, while he's on a smoko. Or smokos, which, for those of you who don't speak your actual Australian, means that he's on a cigarette break from his paid employment. One of the best cigarettes, the one you get paid for smoking. Bit like having a poo at work. We've covered this subject before, haven't we? The on-the-clock poo. A poo taken during work time that you thus get paid for, using somebody else's lavatory that you don't have to clean, and using lavatory paper that you didn't pay for, although it probably won't be as nice as the lavatory paper that you have at home. Now, do you choose your own lavatory paper, or is somebody else in the household responsible for making that choice, and you just have to put up with it and make the best of it? I'd be interested to know that. But anyway, the point is Spotty Botty's here, and we're all grateful for it, and we're all blessed by it. Captain Mustard is with us. Good evening, Captain. How the devil are we? Sarah Parsons says, guess what? I've got a toaster. Well, you've kind of taken the point of us guessing out of it now by telling us. You've kind of spoiled the surprise. But, okay, well, let's talk toasters. Why not? Okay, what type of toaster do you have? How many slots does it have? Is it a 2-slot or a 4-slot? And does it have a warming rack? And what would your dream toaster be? And how do you get on with those conveyor belt toasters that you get at hotel buffets? Now, I would like one of those in the house. I love a conveyor belt toaster. The poshest toaster I've ever had was in the kitchen at the cottage in Wales, and that was an electronic toaster. There was none of the pressing down the doings, you know, the, oh gosh, right, now then. I was kind of thinking of trying to impersonate a toaster, and I've tried this before. I did a whole thing on it somewhere else, and I can't do it. I just cannot do it. But you know, a fully manual toaster, and you press down the thing and it sort of goes, and then goes as it locks in place. And then it goes ka-chang when it goes up. Well, this toaster, there was none of that. You pressed a button and it went beep, 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 and the bread disappeared into the furnace of fiery doom. And then when the bread was toasted, the reverse happened and it went beep, 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 and electronically rose up. My dream toaster, I was going to say it would be a dualit, a nice chrome dualit, but I've realised that it wouldn't be. My ideal toaster would be the conveyor belt type of toaster that you get in hotel buffets. I'd love to have one of those. I was very proud that when I was spending a lot of time at the Dolmen Resort in Ara in Malta, I got their toaster down to a T, because most people cannot master the conveyor belt toaster. They'll be there for ages, arsing about, putting the bread through twice. And here's a question. As a hotel guest, do you consider yourself permitted? Do you feel that you have permission to alter the settings on a conveyor belt toaster? Or do you feel that that's a staff-only privilege and you, as the hotel guest, merely have an obligation to work around the settings that the professionals have chosen? I would be interested to know that. I found a chap, says Simone, who can 3D print Cortina parts. I might just take advantage of this and make some money. Why not? Nothing wrong with making money. Oh, after all that I've just talked about toasters, she said, oh, I meant toast rack. Well, we'll keep going with the toaster thing anyway, but congratulations on your toast rack, Sarah. And it's about bloody time. None of this, for those of you who don't know, if you're new to this community, as a community, we do not accept toast sweat. We do not accept hot toast on a not as hot plate causing toast sweat and condensation. We don't allow that. We don't approve of that. We have higher standards than that. We deploy a toast rack so that the toast is fully aired all around. So yeah, be told. If you don't have a toast rack and you're not capable of acquiring one yourself, please get in contact, and as a community we will sort you out. But Sarah, I think I speak for all of us. Oh, I was just stroking my nipple then, and again it's very pleasant. I keep forgetting how pleasant that is, and for some reason I only get the urge to stroke my nipple when I'm talking to you. Isn't that odd? You'd think that when I was lying in bed, you know, in that kind of lovely sleepy time in between kind of waking up and having to actually get your ass out of bed, that would be an ideal nipple stroking time, one might think. Or possibly when one was lying supine in the bath and there are two, well in my case two foamy nipples there for your delectation and delight. But no, I never do it. Only when I'm talking to you do I get the urge to nipple. Nippling is obviously a live stream thing, but there's a question for the community. When do you most frequently get the urge to stroke your own nipples? Right. Oh, the usual areas. We're back to Rover Joe and his crusty Honda. Front floors, sills and rear arches. Well, I mean, yeah, but 3,000 quid. I mean, what's he welding it with? Bloody frankincense. Is the screen blurred, says Skick, or is it my blood pressure? Well, it looks all right to me, but do you want a wipe? I can give you a wipe if you want a wipe. Shall I wipe you? Hands up, would you like to be wiped? I'm not going to look at the comments because I'm going to lose my place. I'm just going to wipe you whether you like it or not. This, my loves, my darlings, I've hungered for your touch a long, lonely time. And time goes by so slowly, and then time can move so fast. Are you still mine? Oh, I need your love. Oh, I need your love. Goldspeed your love back to me, you bastards. Right, what was I going to do? I was going to wipe you, wasn't I? And I got distracted. Is there any... Look at that. You were so scared of being wiped, you buggered off. Right, now, sit tight. There. Is that any better, Skick? Am I less blurred? Right, you've been fully wiped there with... oh, and for full disclosure, this is the microfiber that is intended for wet leg. You may remember an exceptionally boring segment of a previous live stream where I explained, you know, without your consent, quite frankly, and at great length, my future microfiber color-coded plans. And it serves you bloody well right. And that microfiber, being green, is destined for Wetty, or to full name her, Fräulein Wetleg von Titty Biscuits, which, I don't care what anybody else says, is a splendid name. Right, we've dealt with that then. Is the screen blurred or is it my blood pressure? You've been wiped. Make the best of it. People are saying hello. Hello. Oh, the live was on TikTok, says Rover Joe. It's a different setup. Nothing car related. I'm stroking my nipple again. It's becoming a natural reaction. Should I be disturbed by this? Should I seek health? Or is nippling a perfectly normal form of behaviour whilst broadcasting live to in excess of 5 people? Good God, nearly on 30k now on TikTok, which is crazy. Blimey. Boaty, you called me he. I'm actually gender neutral. Did I call you he, General Cheeseburger? Well, I mean, you're welcome to be gender neutral. I'll put you in the... You're not on the wonk, but have you swiveled? Have you swiveled when I wasn't looking? That's not my normal view, is it? I'm sure it's not. Well, you naughty swivelers. I swear to God, you've swiveled. I need a... Other phone. Wi-Fi, settings. Wi-Fi. Off. So that's off. Have I got any other phones or is that it? Well, I can't turn you off. You need to be on. I can't turn you off. You need to be on. There's not much else I can turn off. Yours turned off. Right. Let's see how that goes. I'm clearly running short of internet today. Somebody, look, I'm going straight to the nipple again. I can't help myself. So where did we get to? We got as far as General Cheeseburger being gender neutral. So you go in the same box as Shison, and we will all remember that it's they, them, and theirs. There was an interesting debate on Radio 4 last night. I don't know if you heard it, but I'm going to ask you, right, the word data, is that a plural or a singular? That's a question for you. And please answer this in the comments and we will pick it back up when I get to that part of the comments, because I'm working through them as best I can. We can only do our best, can't we? So data, yeah. Now, because apparently this is a thing now. So if you were talking about data, would you say that data is green or data are green? Is green or are green? Singular, plural. And I will tell you my feelings on the matter when I get to that section of the comments. So when you mention data, would you say the data is over there, or the data is collected, or the data are collected? Right? You get what I'm poking at. Right, let's see if we can catch up with myself. Can I identify as a toast rack, says Sarah Parsons? Absolutely. But, you know, if you chose to identify as a toast rack, then you would go through a very similar experience, or you would have to go through a very tricky chap's words, a very similar experience that I and many other people did when we attended public school. In other words, you would have to be prepared to be bent over and have toast inserted into your bum crack. You would have to become the actual toast rack. So feel free to identify as one, but beware, that will be a thing. MOT Day tomorrow for Black Lions. Send thoughts and prayers, please. Absolutely. I think we all know the fear of MOT Day, don't we? Apart from Mustard, who is one of those annoyingly well-prepared people who will only put a card in for MOT when he knows it's going to pass. Unlike people like me, I'm better than I used to be. But the MOT test used to be the do I scrap my car test rather than an MOT test. You knew it was going to fail. The question is it going to fail and be repaired, or is it going to fail and just go to the scrapyard? Hopefully, he said, touching wood, those days are gone for me. And all of my current vehicles are long-term commitments rather than just one-night stands. But yeah, even so, MOT tests hold unknown fears. I like a double cheeseburger, says Simone. Well, you shouldn't. Cheese is wrong. We've addressed this before. Oh God, Matt. I make chili ketchup by putting it in the fridge. But that does raise another question for debate. Don't forget to answer about data, right? But ketchup, do you keep it in the fridge or do you keep it in the cupboard, right? And when considering that, you may want to remember that Little Chef, who were allegedly an actual restaurant and subject to rules and shit, they used to keep their ketchup on the table, night and day. So, there you are. What's a good ketchup? Heinz is too expensive. Oh, Christ almighty, you're not going to like my answer then, are you? The most recent ketchup that I bought was the Sauce Shop ketchup, and I have to say it's jolly good. But it needed a bit of a kick, so yeah, I've mixed it with some chili sauce. Do you want to see it? There you go. This is their smoky chipotle ketchup. But yeah, not bad, not bad. But steer clear of Heinz or any of the supermarket efforts. You don't want to be going there. They're all just sugar and salt. Get yourself a really good one and add something to it to spice it up. That's my advice. Bad Book says, Mustard shamed me into cleaning my workbench yesterday. Still clear today as I've been to work. Put both of my hibernating car's batteries on smart charge. Get you. Tyre tax, says General Cheeseburger, who, let me remind you, is gender neutral. Is this the Sadiq Khan madness? Jeff Does Cars has a good video on it. Well, if it's the tax that he was talking about, then I fully approve of it and I hope they implement it. Bad Book says, I think we have to pay a tyre recycling charge tax already. Oh, a hidden comment. This'll be filth. Oh, God. No. Oh, hello, Rob's here. The lovely Rob is here. Mr. Beards and Bangers. Rob, you said in your video you wanted to hit 500 subscribers so you could do a live stream. You don't need 500 subs to do a live stream, mate. You don't need any number of subs. All you need is not to have been restricted from so doing, and to verify your account, which takes verify your channel, which takes a couple of seconds. So get on and do a live, and I'll be right there in the front row watching you, my beardy chum. But for those who don't know, Rob of Beards and Bangers fame has been AWOL recently, and the reason he's been AWOL is he's been working very hard. And the reason he's been working very hard is he has been buying, on average, and I did check this out and worked it out correctly, he has been buying, on average, over the last 10 weeks, an average of 1.4 cars per day. And he has now had to go out to work very, very hard, doing the clever job that he does, and I've forgotten what it is. He drives a van. He does drive a van. So, yeah, so it's a kind of, it's the kind of job that involves owning a van, and it's a posh van. So it's the kind of job that he charges a lot of money for. So let's all guess what Rob does for a living. I'm going to go with male escort. Anyway, yeah, so he's been AWOL, he's missed the live streams, he's not been posting much in the way of videos, which is a great loss to us all, because who doesn't enjoy a Beards and Banger video? I know I do. And I very much enjoyed what is possibly his most recent one, where he decided that he should fit a period onboard gramophone to not his most recent purchase, but I think the 7th most recent purchase that he bought last week. Yeah, he decided to fit a period onboard gramophone, which he purchased from eBay, having drunk 3 3/4 bottles of famous grouse whiskey. And he bought entirely the wrong one, and it didn't fit. And that amused me immensely, because who doesn't love a good disaster video? We've all seen Titanic, except that I haven't. I think it was on a television in my vicinity. I was with Sasha, and we were living together, and I'm sure that she put it on the televisual, and I occupied myself with doing something else, because I'd rather have shingles than watch a bloody film like that. Dear God. Now that would be a time to obsess over stroking your nipple when some god-awful film is on. Can't happen to me now. I don't have a television. Did you hear that, Mr. Television licensing people? I haven't got a television. Keep writing to me. Keep commenting on my YouTube videos. I don't care. Haven't got one. What was I talking about? I have no idea. I've completely forgotten what I was just talking about. So we'll talk about something else. Oh, I was talking about Rob, wasn't I? Yeah. So we bought this gramophone. It doesn't fit. It's got all the wrong bloody doings. And the poor chap, his video was somewhat shorter than he originally intended. But, you know, thoughts and prayers to Rob and his wrongdoings. Let's find that he finds the correct doings and is able to properly and correctly unite his unmentionables for full stereophonic sound from his period gramophone. I'm in a similar situation with Wet Leg, as you know, and I'm still undecided as where to go, except that the OEM stereo that was on eBay and finished today, I was driving home when the auction finished, and again it went for the opening bid, and again I didn't buy it. So I don't know. I wouldn't sit down at a lavatory in a curry house, says General Cheeseburger. Don't know what that's in relation to, but thank you for the information. Oh yes, you'd better run, you'd better take cover. Riveting chat this, getting paid to poo and drinking coffee and smoking. I have to go back to work. TTFN. Toilet paper. Does anybody remember the shiny stuff? Isel. That was vile. Yeah, we had that at school. Oh, a message to Mustard. I'm sure I saw Christine the other day in Staley Bridge. Roger Boaty's here. Christine. I can't remember which one Christine was. Simone has a crappy Tesco toaster, used rarely. There's nothing like queuing for the mechanical conveyor belt toaster at breakfast in a Benidorm hotel. Oh dear. Oh dear. One of my first jobs, says Bad Books, on the first day, the boss showed me into the staff toilet and showed me the stick to use to break up any large logs. Oh God, I mean, that just raises the worst of fears. I can't do a shared toilet. I cannot do a shared toilet. These days, I can do a hotel toilet in your own hotel room. There were days, in the dim and distant past, I couldn't. But, a shared public toilet or a shared work toilet, I couldn't do it. And here's another question for you. I couldn't possibly go to the loo if there was somebody on the same floor as me. So if I'm upstairs in my own house and somebody else is also upstairs, I couldn't go. I couldn't go. I could only go if the whole level was clear and everybody else was downstairs. Anybody else get that? Or is it just me? Christine was a 45 and apparently does live around there. Liz says that she is the director of loo roll procurement and only gets Costco's finest. A few of us have seen Christine apparently. And I can't remember who on earth Christine is. Simone still doesn't have a toast rack. Simone, PM me your address and I will get a toast rack off to you. Can't have you going toast rackless. Toast doesn't need to be dry and cold. You're right, Mustard, it doesn't, but it does need to be in a toast rack. Why would anyone only toast one side? Don't know. Don't need a toast rack, says Liz. Yes, you do. Toast should be eaten straight from the toaster. No, it shouldn't. With lashings of butter, I agree on that. And shredless range marmalade. No. General Cheeseburger, I'm not reading that. A pub is missing its singer. Stop it, Boaty, you're scaring the cats again. Boaty locked me in the caravan today. It was scary and he went weird. No, I didn't. What happened was we were in the caravan today. We were in our post-lunch period where we were holding each other tenderly in a gentle embrace. And a van drove up and parked right outside Mr. George Boaty. So Mustard started, in an attempt to be amusing, started calling for help. And they completely ignored him, even after I opened the window so that his cries for help could be heard. How do you make octopus laugh? With 10 tickles. Right. God. Boaty does a lot of things without my consent. Yeah. I feel it's justified to lock you in the caravan to avoid you violating me further with your mustard gas. Hashtag still not over it. Well, I wouldn't lock him in the bloody caravan. That's the reason why I wouldn't lock him in the caravan. Not when I was in there as well, because there'd be no escape from his mustard gas. But so far, he has obeyed the rule of no farting in the caravan, at least when I'm there. He may have farted in it when I'm not there. We don't know. Boaty's singing sounds like a freshly served heifer. Oh, that's nice. How often do you grease your nipples, Boaty? Daily. The swirl of doom again. Hopefully we solved that by turning some devices off. More chaotic than usual, which is kind of fun. Everyone is going home because your internet is rubbish. And who could blame them? Oh, Roger Boaty. I'm going to read this one out. Do we need to worry about upsetting people with pronouns now? Eh? What? This group is changing, eh? Bring back corpse swap and good old buggery. Oh, dear. Right. Data. Data is on Star Trek. Data was in Star Trek. Jeff Lynne sang about insufficient data coming through. Singular because it's collective wraith. Data is plural depending on context of sentence, but one can have a single data set. No, you can't, Liz. Data is singular, also a character in Star Trek. Rover Joe correctly says data is plural. That's kind of what I meant. You don't have datas. Data is a bit like the sheep's conundrum, can be used for both. No, it can't. Right, let's sort this data thing up. Now, being a classically educated sort of cove who was taught Latin, or rather had it beaten into me, God, they used to like hitting you with sticks when I was a student. Data is a plural, and data is the plural of datum, second declension neuter. In Latin takes the plural form are, right? So, give you an example. You're all familiar with the term agenda, yeah? But if there's only one item on the agenda, it's not an agenda, it's an agendum. So data is a plural. It is the plural of datum. So if you're talking about data, you're talking about a plural. So it would always be data are, not data is. Now, there is a modern argument that the word data has now become what is termed a mass noun, meaning that although as a noun it's describing a mass of things, it is referred to in the singular sense. But that is wrong. It's a plural. End of story. It's a Latin word and it's a plural. And as a plural, it should be used correctly. So if you're talking about data, then you should be using plural forms. So data are, not data is. And if you want to talk about a singular, datum. A single piece of data is datum. So there you are. And now we're on to ketchup. Once it's opened, it goes in the fridge, says Sarah Parsons. Oh, Jimmy Quinn always takes his cars for MOT 4 weeks before the MOT runs out. Now, that's probably a good idea, except that if you get a failure and this car is dangerous to drive, do not drive until repaired, you're buggered then because you've lost that 4 weeks. Obviously, you can take your car in for MOT up to a month before, and you will effectively get a 13-month MOT. And in fact, that's probably something that I'm going to try and do this year. Rover Joe goes for Old His Own ketchup, and we all send you our sympathy. There's no need to keep condiments in the fridge, says Mustard. And it's the same with eggs. Absolutely, you shouldn't get... Right. Things that you shouldn't keep in the fridge. Now, I do keep ketchup in the fridge. I admit it, I do. Eggs should not be kept in the fridge. And here's one that you might not know. Tomatoes. Not that any of us have any at the moment, but tomatoes should never, ever, ever be kept in the fridge. It impairs their flavour. They should be kept in the fruit bowl or the tomato bowl, but in an ambient environment, not in a chilled environment. Anybody else got examples of things that we do put in the fridge but shouldn't? Sorry, Matt, you're right, you can't win. Being my unpaid understudy, I hold you to higher standards than the rest. Oh, here we go, Chaz Brown. Data is a collection of discrete values that convey information. describing quantity, quality, fact, statistics, other basic units of meaning. A datum is an individual value in a collection of data. Well, that's you told, isn't it? Careful with the eggs. Depends how they've been treated beforehand in some cases. Eggs shouldn't be kept in the fridge. I mean, you know, out in the wild, hens don't have fridges, do they? Bad Books has his ketchup in the fridge. Liz is also guilty of only putting a car through when it will pass. Even wash the car and fasten rear seatbelts before the MOT. General Cheeseburger. MOT tests. The infidel was moaning about MOTs moving out to 4 years for a first test. He was forgetting that most of his sheds have been dodging the scrapyard for years. Oh dear. Little tomato sauce is the same as Heinz tomato sauce, i.e. awful. I keep ketchup in the fridge, no room anywhere else in the kitchen, says Matt. Male escort or male escort, says Simon. Male escort. There was a spelling discrepancy there. And that doesn't work when I read it out, Simon, does it? Spoiler alert, Titanic sank. Right. Toilets away from home are a no-no, says Steve Colg. And yeah, I'm with you. Liz says, how will you cope at Pride of Longridge with the porter bugs? Well, I shan't go, Liz. Simple. I shall not go. I can, let me bear down on this. I can do number ones. I can do those anywhere. I like an al dente number one. There's something very freeing about piddling in the open air. It's number twos that I can't do, and I simply won't go. I will control my my doings, and I shall instruct my body not to form a stool, and I shall instruct Mr. Brown not to attend reception. Christine was the press release 45 with a rotten floor pan, the one you collected from Kent. Right, yes. And I remember where she went now, Mustard. 3 of us in our house, says General Cheeseburger, and 4 toilets. We all unofficially have our own, with downstairs in communal use for number ones only. How very civilised of you. 4 toilets. Okay, here's another question for you. How many bugs have you got in your house? Windy Bottom. How rude, I've been interrupted. Windy Bottom only has one, just one single toilet. All women need a nice rack, says Matt. Sexist. I'm having a go at you today, aren't I, Matt? Isle toilet roll sold for £8 per roll on eBay. I know because my wife sold it. Bloody hell. I would have bought some for the father-in-law. He loves it. Dear me. My old dad, says Bad Books, liked silence when he was on the bog. Many a time he would shout, can't I even have a shite in peace? And then he adds, he was a Church of England organist. That's been my favourite comment tonight. I love that. I absolutely love that. Liz says you can have a single data set, e.g. number of cats that I have and another single data set, how much money I've not got. Yeah, but data is still a plural, Liz. Oh, God is on about Latin. Corpse swap, anyone? An excellent explanation, says Mustard. I don't care about data, says Jimmy Quinn. Simon says, word talk starts. I see bunny rabbits and hear summer sounds. Wake me up when it's done. Sheep stroke sheeps, single or multiple? I've got to think about that now. Yeah, well, that is a dual thing, isn't it? Well, no. Okay. Right, I'll answer that, Liz. Sheep is multiple. Sheep is a plural. Right? And if there's only one of them, it's a ewe or a ram. There, solved that one. If anybody else has any linguistic difficulties, let me know and I'll sort them. Mother's Day or Mother's Day? And we're talking apostrophes at this point. So on Mother's Day, should the apostrophe be after the R or after the S? Good. Oh, that's a good one, Mustard. Mother's Day. Well, as it's for all mothers, I would have thought the apostrophe should be after the S to make it a collective. What do you say? Oh, hang on. This is going to be answered. Oh, Liz says mothers with the apostrophe after the S. And Mustard says, that's what I think too, Liz. The card manufacturers are wrong. Well, we all agree. Jimmy Quinn says, I've got tomatoes, the bloody show off. Things that shouldn't be kept in the fridge, says Liz. Toddlers will agree to disagree on that. Strawberries, says Rover Joe. Condoms, says General Cheeseburger. Non-fridge items, says Simon. Your penis. What? My penis? Well, my penis isn't detachable. So in order for my penis to go in the fridge, the rest of me would have to go in there too, which would make it a large fridge. Although we do have a fridge at work that I can fit into. Don't keep body parts in the fridge, too conspicuous. Dried pasta, says Mustard. Yeah, but dried pasta isn't something that we're talking about things that people keep in the fridge that they shouldn't. Nobody keeps dried pasta in the fridge, Mustard. We all have one of those bloody Tupperware containers that we bought at a Tupperware party from Abigail in the 1970s. Oh, that's a really good subject. What's your favourite piece of Tupperware? Now, you can't show me, so show me your favourite piece of Tupperware in the Facebook group. Boaty's World. Search Facebook for Boaty's World and show me your favourite bit of Tupperware. I'm going to show you mine right now after I've had a drink. And then I'm going to show it to you. And I want you to get ready because it's fabulous. Oh, God, that's nice. Right, here it comes. Da, 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 da. 1970s glorious Tupperware. Check out the colour on that. This is brilliant. Right? It's a strainer doings. I use it when I make my chow mein, when I make my noodles. It's brilliant. And I love the colour. Now, when I bought this, I had a set of volcanic orange Le Creuset, which, along with everything else, I lost in the divorce. But I've still got this. She didn't want this. And I'm glad because I love it. So, show me your favourite bit of Tupperware in the Facebook group. Don't freeze your wine, I won't. Steve Cold's Rover 25 has just done 100,000, still on its first head gasket. Oh, I hit a milestone in Brian Johnston today, and I took a photograph to prove it. I hit 111,111 miles, and I took a photo. Chocolate shouldn't be in the fridge. I keep bread in the fridge, drives Mrs. B crazy, says Bad Books. Well, yeah, that's a bit weird. I keep my bread in the freezer, actually. and I just take it out as and when needed, because I am a single personage, and therefore the bread would go mouldy before it got used. So it's always in the fridge. My 25 passed its MOT, says Rover Joe, and the MOT bloke said it was like a new car underneath, so I'm very impressed. The original brake pipes still have that green paint, no corrosion anywhere. Oh, good for you. I've seen your car, haven't I? Not in real life, but I've seen pictures of it. It's the, is it the Harvest Gold one? Am I thinking of the right car? Looks lovely. I totally agree with Project Nigel, says Typhoon Cat, otherwise known as Liz. Chocolate in the fridge is a crime against humanity. I keep Rocky Bars in the fridge to use them as straws for hot drinks. I've got no idea what a Rocky Bar is. Al dente or Alfrico? #1. Help me out, Liz. Don't know what you're going on about there. He's so far behind, we should give him a chance to catch up. All right, I'm catching up. I'm getting there. Jimmy Quinn says 3 toilets. I'll tell you what else doesn't belong in the fridge, says Mustard. Rover 25 filler flaps. They belong in the freezer. We were talking about flaps today, Mustard and I. Oh, yes. Pride of Longbridge, says Cheeseburger. Some nice toilets in the M&S on the retail park on the old Longbridge site. Is there an M&S on the old Longbridge site? Blimey. I'm quite looking forward to go revisiting Longbridge, a place from my youth. And I've told you the story about Longbridge, haven't I, where I put on a talent competition. The wrong person won, and the members and leader of one of the local serious Birmingham gangs, his missus, they thought she should have won and she didn't. So they sent somebody out to shoot me. That was an interesting night. That happened at the competition that I put on in Longbridge. We ran it over 10 weeks, I think. 9 heats and a grand final. I've told you the story before anyway, but that was a slightly worrying night. I've spent too many nights trying not to be shot. What's the plan for Pride of Longbridge? Boaty says you may have a bigger entourage than expected. So should Boaty arrange a stand to ease the numbers on your side? I have 2, says Sarah Parsons. I presume you mean toilets or nipples. I don't think Boaty is coming, says Mustard. Well, I told you I would if I could come with you, but you've taken somebody else because you don't love me anymore. Or if we get our own stand, of course I will go. More word Turk. Sheeps is possessive. Yeah, if the apostrophe, yeah, if it's got an apostrophe, then it is a bit. Fuck the sheep, says Jimmy Quinn. Apostrophes now. I'm defecting to Hubnut's live stream and I'm taking my army with me. Oh, Jimmy Quinn is dyslexic. Oh, right. I can't tell you what I'm growing, says Steve Colg. Oh dear. If your penis is detachable, is it a strap-on? Oh, growing spuds. Good on you. I'll be growing spuds again this year. No, I'm not doing that anti-Welsh joke, Simone. If I wanted to see Tupperware, I'd follow Dilly. Fucking hell! You've all got your complaining trousers on tonight, haven't you? Hey? Dear me. Well, you decide what I talk about then. I'll whiz through the comments and you can decide what I talk about. You tell me, I'll talk about it. God forbid that I should bring in I'm stroking my nipple again. God forbid that I should bring in something interesting from Radio 4, which Mustard and Liz liked anyway, so God above. Don't freeze your wine. What happened to the Boaty stream? I can talk about words. It's Boaty's world. I like words. Shoot me if I want to talk about them every now and then. It can't all just be about bogs, poos and farting. Oh, God. I bet he's got a vintage Pyrex dish as well. You just know it. Oh, the Sienna Gold one, taking it to Pride of Longbridge. Look forward to seeing it there. Who passed away for... Oh, dear. I've seen Rover Joe at the motorist. I was going to say hello, but you were busy, and then my dad kept wandering off. Oh, al dente or al fresco number ones, says Liz. You said you like an al dente number one. I do. I love an al dente number one, Liz. But al dente is foreign for outside. Al fresco is also foreign, but it means literally it means firm to the bite. It's how foreigners like to cook their vegetables and spaghetti. Very easy to get the two mixed up though, so don't feel bad about yourself. Boaty can't cope with dyslexia. Why is dyslexia so difficult to spell? If the street rise is running, you're welcome to tag along to POL with me, Boaty. Tell us some jokes, says Mustard. Oh, Liz is dyslexic as well. Radio 4, which gutter do you think we're in? Right, and I've caught up now, so I'm going to shut up now until you tell me what to talk about. Wrong way around, says Sarah Parsons. What, my nipples? No, they're not. That one's Jeffrey, that one's Archer. Always been that way around. Outside is Boaty a flasher. Right? You just keep commenting, otherwise I'm not talking, because you just complain, and I'm going to sulk. Yeah, he's talking about words again. We don't like it when he talks about words. Oh, he's singing. He's got a really bad voice. He's scaring the cats. Bloody moaners. Bloody snivellers. That's what you are. Snivelling away at the content of a live stream you don't even pay for. Oh, Simone's buggering off. Got an early start tomorrow. Thanks for joining us, Simone. Sarah Parsons says, al dente is firm, al fresco is outside. Now, you got that the wrong way round, my lovely. Al fresco means firm to the bite, and al dente means outside, as in al dente dining. Talk about jigsaws, says Simon. Tell jokes, says Mustard. Tell some jokes. I asked you a question earlier, but you missed it. Sorry, Simon, ask it again. Jokes. Do I know any jokes? I told one. Jokes. Let's think about jokes. Jokes. No, because all my jokes go on for about 3 hours. I don't know any short ones. Plus, they're all filthy. The man who invented Tupperware has sadly passed away. The funeral was delayed by an hour because they couldn't find the correct size lid for his coffin. Well, you've met me, so technically you know a joke, says Matt. Oh, don't put yourself down, Matt. Matt is you couldn't meet a nicer chap than Matt, as you will all find out at the forthcoming socials, which I'm already getting all excited about, especially the Momo. A question from Simon. Do you park your cars in size order, age order, or power order? Now that, Simon, is a very, very good question. Right, well, Wet Leg lives there, up my back passage. Now, whichever car I'm going to work in or using lives in pole position there, outside the front door. As for the others, they are parked. I park them in pairs according to model. So the ideal parking will be when H.J. Rover comes back, which hopefully is going to be very, very soon. I didn't have the money to buy the exhaust last week rather, but I should have the money this week. It's not expensive. It's like 40 something quid. It's just that I'm really, really poor. And then I will take the exhaust to the Yard of Dreams, and Mustard and I will fit it, by which of course I mean Mustard will fit it. He might try and get me to do it and humiliate me again. In fact, he almost certainly will. But we both know that I'm not going to be able to do it. And we both know that he will get frustrated at my stupid efforts of trying to do it. And he'll only enjoy humiliating me for about 5 minutes before he'll take over, do it himself, and then do some careful work in the edit suite. And we just need to do a couple of other bits and pieces, and hopefully HJ will soon be MOT'd and back here. So then the parking placements will be wet leg up my back passage, the Honourable H.J. Rover being my official daily pole position, and then outside the village hall, Stigbert and Sir Arnold will be parked together first, and they will be parked nose to tail, very, very close. But, you know, I can get the one out by reversing, the other one out by driving forward. Then there will be a space, and then Brian and Shison will be parked similarly, so that each car will be immediately accessible, and they will be parked, like that, so that the similar models are together for maximum aesthetic pleasurement. Now, what will then happen when I get my next cars, and if you're interested, the next cars on the horizon for my personal collection, so we're not counting the City Rover for my joint. I couldn't keep that one. I couldn't quell it. I couldn't subdue it. It had to be birthed. I had to birth that burp. But the next cars for my personal collection will be a pre-facelift Rover 45 Saloon, the booted version, and an MGTF, ideally a Stepspeed, and a Series 1 Freelander, 3-door. Not sure whether I'm bothered whether it's pre or post facelift. I don't know enough about them. But those are the next 3 cars on the horizon. And if things stay as they are, then hopefully I'll be in a position to buy the next one probably next January, when cars tend to be a little bit cheaper and I've had the best part of a year to save up. Or if things go incredibly well, then maybe it will happen sooner. Right. No, I believe I'm correct, says Sarah Parsons. Does he park his cars in plural? Well, yeah, I do, because I park them in 2s. You are correct, says Liz. Oh dear, we are living in denial here, aren't we? Surely your daily should be called Arthur. You're absolutely right, Matt. And I'm annoyed that I didn't think of that. You're absolutely 100% correct. Everybody's daily car should be called Arthur. And why didn't I think of that? So, well, okay, how am I going to work around that now? Because Matt is 100% correct. Okay, the way to work around it then is that HJ will have his proper kennel name, which is the Honourable H.J. Rover, but I could refer to it as my Arthur. My Arthur. Oh, my Arthur. Yeah. So your daily car should be your Arthur. Well done, Matt. You've just invented a new community phrase. So that's it. So that's a bit of secret community code. So if any of us asks, what's your Arthur at the moment, we're asking what is your daily vehicle. So Mustard's Arthur would be Eric, which is confusing but fun. So, right, okay. Just nipping for an Arthur, says Matt. Oh, God, I hope that's not a bloody Arthur J. Rank. By Matt Freelander on Furious Driving, he's done the welding. I would love to buy Matt Freelander, truth be told. Is it for, if and when Hippo comes up for sale, I would absolutely love to buy it. That would be a really cool thing. And if it did come up for sale, I would try very hard to buy it. I would even sell one of the other cars to buy Matt Freelander, because that would be, it's the right car for me anyway. It's in the right colour. It's automatic, which is always my preferment or preference. But that would be really good for views. That would be really good for the channel, to buy a car off a famous channel. Look at all the views and subs I got off buying that the car off Mustard. And Matt, believe it or not, is even more famous than Mustard. I know. Who knew that was possible, to be more famous than Mustard? But I like Matt's channel. He's a man that I would like to meet, and I would very much like to own one of his cars. So if and when Hippo comes up for sale, I will move heaven and earth to buy it. Oh, this is interesting. Simon says, is there any money to be made by getting a yard near home for the fleet and subletting parts out? Funnily enough, we were talking about that today, Simon, and I am going to keep my eyes peeled for something. Yeah, the idea has lodged itself of getting a yard and or a lockup somewhere near home, which would be subsidised by not having to keep all of my cars taxed all the time. Ideally, I'd like something like Matt has got, something like a barn or a unit on some farmland, of which there is plenty around here. So I might start putting the word about, actually. I know Nick next door has got something like that, and that's where he stores all of his. So it's actually a good shout, that, Simon. And yeah, it's something that I'm definitely going to look into. It would be good to have a focal point to do my own bit of tinkering, and if it was a bit nice, then as and when I or Mustard and I start having cars for sale, it'd be nice to have somewhere, no disrespect to Mustard's yard, but there's no space there, but it'd be nice to have a separate space that was a bit more people friendly, a nicer place to kind of display them or something like that. So yeah, it's something I'm going to start looking at and looking for. Where's Pingu tonight? Is he missing in action? My fox has arrived. He's eating his supper. Eh? Roger Boaty's off. Eh? Good night, throttle buddy. I don't know what you people are talking about here. Oh God. Right, I've completely lost the plot there. Completely lost the plot. So, I know what I was going to mention to you. Oh God, look at the time. I was going to give you a sneak preview of this, because I got it out tonight, and had a little play with it, and it's looking quite promising. Let me unzip you. Haha! There is the doings. Da, 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 da. And I've I've had a quick scroll through the cars which it is definitely programmed to I don't know whether to fully communicate with. Can I put it that way? So if you go into this bit here, it comes up with a full list of the cars with which it has which it has full system and full functionality, right? Aston Martin, Audi, BMW, Rolls-Royce, but let's scroll through them all. It does say, hold on, MG and SAIC, S-A-I-C, which is the company that obviously bought MG, and it does say Rover there. So hopefully, shut that down. Hopefully this thing is fully compatible with MG and Rover, which will mean burp number 2. Oh, and a follow-up burp, number 3. 2 and 3 coming almost simultaneously there. It's a lovely case. Look at that, nice little case. I like that. So that potentially means that this will be an incredibly useful bit of kit for me, certainly, and possibly for some of you. It might save you a costly trip to the garage. Now, I'm not sure exactly what functionality there's going to be, but it does say full functionality. So who knows what we will be able to do? But at the very least, it should be able to read any fault codes, clear any fault codes, all of that sort of thing. But hopefully there will be additional bits of functionality as well. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what it can and can't do. I will be plugging the doings in. Now, Stigbert has got his, as some of you were annoyed by on a recent video, Stigbert has got his EML on. I can't remember what the fault was, but I do know that it was turned off for the last MOT, and it lasted about, it lasted a good 5 months before it came back on. So hopefully, and it is annoying having your EML on, that's engine management light, if you didn't know. So yeah, hopefully I'll be able to plug the doings in tomorrow, find out what the fault code is and get it cleared, and know what, if anything, needs fixing. So that'll be a good thing. Oh, I was wrong, Boaty says General Cheeseburger. I thought that was a scam. Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of understandable, isn't it? But no, it's obviously all above board, and I'm quite proud actually that having only done that one video for them, they decided that I was worth an upgrade from a 30 quid bit of kit to a 430 quid bit of kit. So I'm very, very happy about that, and I will genuinely try and do the best job possible on the video. I've had a quick look about, and it seems to be generally accepted as a worthwhile bit of kit that kind of punches above its weight for the money. You know, I mean, it's a lot of money for a home enthusiast, I guess, isn't it? But, well, we'll see. We'll play with it. And I'll bring it to socials and whatnot so other people can play with it. And I'll do a video on it, but then I'll keep playing with it, and I'll keep throwing in mentions as well. Partly as, you know, as a genuine reference thing for you guys, in case you were thinking of getting one or getting something similar, or whether it's worth having one. And also, so the company keeps loving me and keeps sending me some more free stuff. So there we are. I genuinely think a community meetup would add some decent feedback on that for your review. On what, Matt? You've lost me a bit. I don't think a community meetup would add some decent feedback on that for your review. And Trace says, I think most of us thought it was a scam. Glad to be proved wrong. I'll swap your burps for my fart, says Mustard. No, thank you. I would not want your arse, Mustard. I mean, it's lovely. It's pert, but it's out of control. Your arse is out of control. My Streetwise is fully functional to its own limitations. Oh, when did Trace pop in anyway? Oh, right, Mustard's off. See some of you tomorrow at 2200 hours. Oh, yeah, of course, it's Mustard's live tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Oh, we will push the OBD video hard. Might be worth doing a few videos, one per car. Yes, General Cheeseburger. Oh, right, it was the OBD reader, Matt. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Yeah, I agree with you, Matt, and I also agree with you, Cheeseburger. I am planning to do more than one video on it because, you know, if they're chucking me out something of that value, then they deserve more than one video. And there's plenty to go at because it's an incredibly functional thing looking at it. And I think you'd struggle to encompass that all in one video. And there's two ways of doing this, isn't there? Right? I can just do what they want. You know, a product review, an Amazon review, and then I can forget all about it. And, you know, it's just mine and that's that. But I'd feel a little bit of a fraud doing that. I would actually rather be honest about it and, you know, be open about the fact that I'm not mechanically minded, I'm not a tinkerer, but, you know, I'm keen to use it and to understand it and so on. And there's going to be loads of people in my position who, you know, we're never going to be a Mustard, we're never going to be a welder, we're never going to spray cars or anything, but it'd be nice to be able to do some simple things and, you know, simple diagnostics of when your car throws up a wobble. It'd be nice to be able to diagnose it, and if it's something neither here nor there, to be able to turn it off ourselves without having to pay a garage to do it, or without having to pay a garage to diagnose something. And if we've got cars with more advanced computers, then hopefully we'll be able to change stuff like that. I'm trying to think of some examples. So, for example, here's one off the top of my head, right? If you've got a Rover like mine, where the doors lock automatically when you set off, and you don't want them to, hopefully this thing will be able to change that, and those sort of settings. So yeah, we'll see. And yeah, I think it's going to be certainly more than one video. Hopefully it'll get plenty of use, and you know, I will give ongoing reports because, you know, never having had one before, the only one I've got. I have got one, but let me show you so you can see the difference. Where is it? I need to put a light in here. I really do. Can't see a thing. Ah, here we are. Right, now this is the one I bought. It's like an eBay special, bit cheapy and plasticky. And it is just a very basic, generic OBD2 code reader. Now, in fairness to it, it was only like 10 or 15 quid, something like that. And in fairness to it, it does communicate with all of my cars but one on a very, very basic level. So it'll give up the code and you can clear the code with it. And that's about all it does. It won't communicate with the ZT, whereas obviously I'm hoping with that one will. But this big posh one, it does so much more. Well, you know, you'll see it all in the videos. It does a shed load of stuff. It's all connected to the internet, and it's got a full operating system, and it comes with 3 years worth of free updates, so that you know, if a new car, and it does all of the latest stuff. It does Teslas and everything. But what's more important to me, and probably a lot of you guys, is how it deals with the older stuff. So it will be interesting to see if it incorporates any of the functionality of the TOF system or whatever it's called. But first things first, tomorrow's job will be to try and read the code on the ZT, find out what it is and get the bloody thing turned off. And if it does that, that will be a triumph. It's Bluetooth, by the way. The reader thing plugs in, it communicates with the unit itself via Bluetooth, and then the unit itself, when you're in your house or office or garage or whatever, that connects to the internet. It automatically throws up the website that you need if you need to learn about a code that it's thrown up. It can take videos. It can produce printed reports and all of that. It's very, very clever, and I haven't even scratched the surface of all the things that it can do. And it's intuitive. It will learn. It can connect to the internet and learn about updates and new stuff. So that's all jolly good. You did a top rid of the battery tester. Thank you, Bad Books. I wasn't sure if I did or not, but there you go. It was honest. It was absolutely honest. These are all going to be things that I haven't had before. As you know, I'm pretty clueless, and so I will genuinely tell you if you know, what I think of it, whether I can use it, how easy it is to use. This is obviously going to be quite a lot more involved, but well, we'll see, won't we? We will see. Anyone can do Tesla. Your battery's flat. I think you need to demonstrate that even cars in the last 20 years can be part Jenga without that kit. Don't know what that means. Terrible sleep patterns at the moment, but thankfully Boaty's here to amuse me. Glad to see you embracing your own randomness in vid, Simon. It's helping your stats, being the authentic you. Project MGTF. It's lovely to watch the channels come along and people develop their doings, and we may have a new community channel soon because the lovely Liz has started playing with taking little videos and downloading, editing things. I had another nice little surprise. It's 12:30, I'm going to bugger off. But I had another nice little surprise today. When I turned up, somebody else turned up at the Yard of Dreams to arrange collection of one of the sold cars. And which is going to be collected and taken away. So that'll be more space in the yard. And Mustard needed to dig out the paperwork to give to the guy, because the guy was there today. He's a nice chap, actually, and he's quite local to me. Lives in Sheffield. I didn't realise it. I drove past his place when I go to the casino. I've met him before at Mustard's, and his wife and his daughter, and he's a bus driver, but he's a jolly good tinkerer. He can do things, and he's got an MGF project on the go, which is same as mine, a Series 118 non-VVC, and he's bought Mustard's TF, which is going to be another project. Well, obviously it's going to be a project. He's seen the state of it, I think it's one of those cars that's absolutely going to the right place. And his daughter, she's only young. She's only 14 at the moment, but the car is in theory going to be his daughter's, which is it's a lovely thing, isn't it, when you can do stuff together as a family, when your family share your hobby, or you share theirs, or you all shared it together. Why am I telling you about this? Oh yeah, right. So he turned up today to finalise the bits and pieces, and then the card is being collected and delivered to him. Oh, did you hear that? Oh, I've sold something. Hooray! Oh, look at that. Ha-ha! That's nice, isn't it? That's a sound I haven't heard for a while. Oh! Da-da-da! It must be getting warmer. I've sold a pair of track mitts. I love that noise. I absolutely love that noise. Because that noise means wine vouchers. Hooray! 2 hidden comments. I'll show them. Right, there we are. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so Mustard had to dig the paperwork out for this guy. And in the midst of doing that, I was summoned. And he gave me this, which is paperwork for Brian Johnston that he's had for God knows how long and never gave me. And that's really nice, because I love paperwork and history. You know I do. And poor old Brian Johnston's file is virtually bloody empty. There's nothing in there. There's an MOT, a V5, and the tax and insurance documents. So I can add a little bit of history now. So I'm really pleased about that. Naturally, it will go in Polly Pockets and be in correct chronological order. But yeah, Brian was looked after. Oh, and there's actually a bill of sale here. Oh, in 2021, he was sold by Supreme Cars of Luton to a gentleman in Lincolnshire. And I think that's the gentleman that sold him to Mustard. Just having a look, blah blah blah. So yeah, so that's really nice. He went a long way to buy that, didn't he? From Scunthorpe down to Luton to buy a Rover 25. But why not? Why not? So I'm very glad about that. And I had a great lunch. I had, same as the last couple of weeks, I had the Kabida kebab with the old salad and chips. But it was even better this week, because I began equipping George Roger Boaty for the season. So I'm starting to take some bits and pieces. So in time I will sort out a proper cutlery drawer, but you know, I took some basic cutlery and some nice linen napkins, so I was able to eat like a civilized man today, with a napkin on my lap and a decent knife and fork. I've taken my 3rd tier cutlery to the caravan, which you may remember is the cutlery that I stole from the Crown Plaza in Dundalk. And yeah, that's my 3rd tier. And it's gone to the caravan. I brought the knife and fork back because they need washing up, and the caravan hasn't got hot or cold water yet, but it will have. I'm going to get that caravan up and fully operational, whether Mustard likes it or not. Now, we've done nothing on it as yet. It's just been too cold. But the caravan's not just going to be a yard ornament, and it's not just going to be a kind of shell to shelter from the storm. The caravan is going to be loved, and I'm going to have it fully working. Everything's working. I might have to get young Jake to help, and Mustard, of course. And it is going to be genuinely used, both in the yard and on a mobile basis. I love that caravan. I absolutely love it. So there we are. Okay, is everybody ready to go? Yeah, General Cheeseburger's off. Yes, everybody started to go a bit quiet. We've been going an hour and 40, haven't we? So, Matt's ranting. Thank you for being here with me tonight. It's been absolutely lovely. Oh yeah, that sale. Oh, that means I need to go to the post office. I don't think I've got any stamps or jiffy bags. Haven't got any in stock because, because it's winter, so I've not been selling any. So if I'm going to start selling them again, I need to lay in some stocks of stamps and jiffy bags. So I don't have to go to the post office. I just have to go down to the post box. But that's splendid. That's a few quid, isn't it? It all helps. And, you know, it will help even more when the weather gets better, and then hopefully I'll sell a few more pairs. If you're interested, I sell them for £12 and 12 pence. But obviously you guys would get mates rates on them. Not that any of you would want a pair of track mitts, I don't suppose. But if any of you do, give me a shout. So yeah, so it's Monday, we've got the week ahead. So tomorrow will be Mustard's live stream, starting at 10 o'clock. I will be joining you at somewhere between 10:30 and 11, and then oh, hang on, what's this? Has Simon got? Oh, is Simon doing the pre? Oh, is Simon doing another pre-Mustard live stream? Well, I won't be there for that. I'll be at work. Oh gosh. Well, so you're going to have 3. So Simon is going to be the warm-up man for Mustard. So when are you on, Simon? Are you doing 9 to 10? Right, looks like that. So Simon is doing, that's Project MGTF, is doing the 9 till 10 shift. Mustard will be doing 10 till somewhere close to midnight, and then I'll take over at midnight, and I'll take you through until whenever we all get bored and need to eat or sleep. So that'll be fun. Oh, and Jimmy Quinn gives us notice that Wednesday is, Honey Before the Mustard. That's a really good name, Simon, actually. That is a really good name. Make sure you put in the description, though, that make sure you tag him in the description. Say something like that you are doing the warm-up live stream for at Project Nigel's with a apostrophe S, Captain Mustard. That will explain the title, but putting the Project Nigel in there, as you know, will get you a bit more attention. So yeah, triple live stream. Jimmy Quinn's birthday is on Wednesday, and he becomes an OPE, and I'm sure a WAP. I'm sure his wife would say so anyway. So we'll be having a birthday live for Jimmy on Wednesday night, of course. So don't miss out on that. And oh yeah, and tomorrow night, for those of you who are interested in the drive home challenge thingy, there's going to be some action on that this week. I'm going to be doing initial runs. Tomorrow night is going to be Stigba. Wednesday, I think, is going to be Wet Leg. And Thursday is going to be Shison. So they'll all be getting some initial times on the board. But that won't be the be all and end all, because the times will change. I'm going to be doing different routes to see which are quicker. There are going to be different road conditions, different traffic, and I will probably, because I normally meander home with Radio 4 on, so actually driving the roads quickly, I'm sure that I will become more familiar and become a little bit better at doing it. And as we get nearer and nearer to summer, at some point I'm going to be doing it in daylight, and that's got to be quicker than doing it at night, hasn't it? So I think the times will genuinely evolve, but it'll be interesting to get some times on the board and see where the initial standings are. If I had to guess, I would guess that at the end of this week, I would bet, if I had to bet, I would bet that Brian would still be top with the 26-21 that I set last week. But we'll see anyway. So there we go. Have a fantastic Tuesday, my lovelies. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you tomorrow night. I will see you on Mustard's Live, and then see you afterwards for mine. Thank you so much. Just finding the bit to play you out with. Where is it? There it is. Okay, darlings, here we go. Oh, I didn't unmute it, did I? You are a stupid man. Let's try again, shall we? Why does it mute? It's annoying. Here we go. It's like living with mustard, isn't it, listening to this? I've frozen my wine. I've got a wine turd. Oh, that's a big wine turd. That's going to fall over the table. I'd better give that a minute. Take care, darling. Stay safe, stay warm. Have a safe and peaceful night. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Balls. Ah, there we are.